All right. Hello, and welcome to another Rush Generations Health Education Lecture. Our staff, Rush Generations, is delighted to be your source of information, resources, and health promotion programs that help maximize your well-being and good health as you age. Today is Wednesday, October 1st. October already. Can you believe it? I'm Grisel Rodriguez Morales. I'm Rush Generations Program Director, and I'll be your moderator for today's lecture, Elder Frauds and Scams. Before I present to you the wonderful speaker joining us today, I'd like to first thank Hannah Weitzman for helping with the production of this lecture. And plus, she helped us with managing the chat and other key aspects so that we can always have a great conversation. And in this occasion, about various scams and to learn how to protect yourself and loved ones. As always, we are live streaming this lecture via our YouTube channel using the video platform Zoom, which allows us to host a good number of people who join us via phone. Thank you for listening. For those of you on YouTube, we ask that you please use the chat function to ask questions and or to add to the discussion throughout the lecture. We always make sure that your comments, your questions make it to the speakers. And for those of you listening to the discussion via phone, you know that you always also have an opportunity at the end of the presentations to unmute your audio so that you can ask your questions. Okay, let me introduce to you our invited speaker who will be addressing one of the most problematic issues that are affecting people these days, especially older people who have become quite vulnerable to this issue of fraud and scams. Today we have with us Andrea Zaragoza, who joined the office of the Illinois Attorney General as a community outreach liaison earlier this year. So congrats on that. And she's from Chicago, from Chicago, and graduated from one of our close partners, the University of Illinois, Chicago, in 2022 with a bachelor's in political science and Latin American studies with a minor in Spanish. So welcome, Andrea. It's so wonderful to have you with us today.
Hi, thank you so much, Grisel, for having me here today.
It's our pleasure.
All right, y'all. Well, thank you so much for tuning in today to this very important presentation. Like Grisel mentioned, my name is Andrea Zaragoza. I am a community outreach liaison with the Illinois Attorney General's office, and I'm more than happy to talk to you all about common scams and how to avoid them. But before we get started with that, we'll go over the agenda. So next slide, please. The next one. Thank you. All right. So for our agenda for today, first I would like to give you all an overview of our office. What is it that we do? Who's the Attorney General? What are his responsibilities? Next slide. As well as, of course, going over the topic about common scams and how to avoid them, what to look out for, what are some of the common trends that we're seeing right now. Next slide, please. And of course, if someone were to fall victim to a scam, um, how to get help from our office. And then the next slide. And then lastly, of course, having time for any questions and answers at the end. If I don't have an answer today for you all today, more than happy to jot down your question and then get back to you all after. Thank you. And the next slide, please. Awesome. Thank you so much. Awesome. So this is the Attorney General Quamarol. This gentleman in the picture, if you guys were not familiar with him, this is him. He is the chief legal officer for the state of Illinois. He protects the public interest. So that means that he advocates for consumers and residents. He litigates by taking legal actions. He also represents our state government. And lastly, he works closely with the General Assembly for new laws. So he is making sure, right, that the laws that are getting passed in the General Assembly falls within the statutes and of course that they're lawful. And also just for context, he has before he was the attorney general, he was a state senator for 14 years. So he definitely has the experience and he has brought this on now as attorney general. Next slide, please. Right. And so now that you know who the Attorney General is and what are his main responsibilities, also we want to let you know how to contact us if you ever do need of our assistance. So you have four options. One option would be to come in person to one of our many offices. We have our two main offices, which are in Springfield and Chicago and six regional offices. That means that they're just a bit smaller, but still part of our office. Secondly, you have the option to give us a call. If coming in person is not the most accessible way to reach us, you can always give us a call, completely free, of course. We are open from Monday to Friday from 9 to 5 p.m. So if you ever have a question, a doubt, or just follow up with something, make sure to give us a call. Third, you can access all of our information, including the information I will be talking about with you all today at our website, which is the illinoisattorneygeneral.gov. For more information, more details, and not only about consumer frauds, but we have information for many, many other topics or needs that you all may have. And then lastly, our community outreach liaison team, which I am a part of. We are more than happy to come out to the community. So instead of you all coming to us coming to you all through tabling at resource fairs, having presentations, whether they're online, virtually, or in person as well. So those are the four options where, our office can be helpful for you all. Next slide, please. Um, Additionally, we here at the Attorney General's office, we have an organization. We have over 40 bureaus with specialty areas as well. So it is a very large legal office. We have over 800 staff, including over 500 attorneys here at the office. More than ready to, making sure that these issues and topics are covered. The consumer protection, it is the main focus for our office. That is our biggest bureau. But we also have bureaus and our attorneys do focus on other different topics such as healthcare, environmental protection, civil rights, public utilities, identity theft. So we do have all of these folks and advocates in different bureaus in our office. Next slide, please. And then from there, so now we also like to show how we protect our Illinois consumers. So we do gather input and data from the formal complaints that we gather every year. So the past year, in 2024, we were able to gather data about the consumer frauds that were happening here in our state of Illinois. As you can see, our number one top consumer complaint was about construction and home improvement. We had more than 2,200 folks calling us, filing a complaint form with our office saying that they were victims of this fraud or this scam about home improvement. Secondly, we have identity theft, over 2,000 folks as well. And these are only folks that have made sure that they did file a complaint form. Additionally, sorry. Additionally, this is just we had over 18,000 folks giving us a call, letting us know about the different scams that we had throughout the year. So, and when people call in, just real quick, when people do call in and file a complaint form, it help it helps our office and our advocates know what are the trends going on, what's happening out there in the different communities here in the state of Illinois. And this way we are able to, make sure we're keeping updated with all of this information, the scams going on, and making sure that we deliver the most up-to-date information for all of our different communities here in the state of Illinois. Additionally, though, the Attorney General's Consumer Fraud Bureau saved consumers more than 12 million through mediation last year, and as well as 48 million dollars through enforcement actions in 2024. Next slide, please. All right, so now we are gonna go over our common scams and how to avoid them. Next slide. So these are the 5 common scams that we will go over today. These we have seen without fail, unfortunately, to be our top 5 consumer scams that year after year, they're there. So the first one will be home repair scams. We'll go over that, as well as telephone and online marketing scams, imposter scams, charity scams, and healthcare scams. Next slide, please. All right, so for home repair scams. As you saw, last year was our number 1 scam here in the state of Illinois. So, what are some things to watch out for? And even what is a home repair scam, right? So, a home repair scam typically is when an imposter or someone that's trying to scam you comes to your front door and just knocks and says, "Hey, I noticed that there's some leakage on the side of your house, or your roof is could use some improvement, some refurbishing. So I can offer you a low cost, um, 1 in a million, right, offer, or a free inspection, right? So they try to lure you in with these too good, right? Too good to be true. These are these really great offers that you cannot pass on. So that's usually how they approach, how they begin this scam, right? And a lot of times when they come to your door is without any local connections. Usually, right? No one in your community or on your street really has heard about this business or have seen this person before. So with that also, right? Once they get you talking or your attention, they're gonna, right, make sure that you do make business with them. So other things to watch out for as they are speaking with you and letting you know about the business they want to do with you, make sure to double check if they have a website, right? If they have also within their website reviews, right, up, as well as the inspection for free. It might be a little too good to be true, right? Especially right now with high cost of everything. So definitely, right, um, flagging it, as well as sometimes once, right, they hook you in or they're trying to lure you into their business. So, most of the time they will tell you that they only accept cash and only cash. And we also advise against making businesses not only as they checking all of these points that I'm making, but also for cash payment, there is no paper trail, right? There is no receipt. There is no way to prove, right? If it were to be a scam, that you were scammed, that you did pay this business this money. And so it's your word against theirs. So it's something to also think about, right? If you do make or go ahead and do home repair, to making sure that maybe it's with a credit card instead, just so that there is a paper trail. So how some of the things that you can do to stop the scam is to get written estimates. Making sure, right, that it's on paper. This way, of course, there is evidence, there's paper trail, as well as the contract, right? Making sure that to not sign a contract with a blank space or even a contract that you don't fully understand, right? You don't have to, don't feel pressure to sign anything right there on the spot. Especially if they're saying like, oh, the offer's only for today. Make sure you do it right now. If they really want to do business with you, they'll give you the time. So making sure that you have someone else from your family, a friend, to read over the contract, make sure that it makes sense and that it's for um that it's a good deal for you as well. Um, as well as to check for licenses, right? You can ask them for their licenses for checking their background as well for this contractor. You can also check out the Better Business Bureau, making sure, right, what reviews they have, even if they are a real company, right? What kind of reviews they have? Are they actually completing the work? Are they actually customer satisfied with their work, right? So doing this and of course, alerting your local law enforcement. Filing a police report will definitely help if, on the unfortunate case that someone were to get scammed, there's a police report on file, and then for you all to contact us. And I will be sharing with you all the home repair consumer rights shortly. So this is also for you all to have handy. This also has a information about if you're 65 years and older, and this person came to you without you phoning them in for an appointment. You have 15 business days to cancel this contract or to not go forward with this business transaction. Right, that is part of your homeowner rights. Mhm. Next slide, please. All right, and this is what the link that I shared. So this is what it looks like. This is just a screenshot, and of course you can access this through our website. So it's also an acknowledgement form between you and the contractor, just making sure that that it's documented and that you have that information of the contractor and they have yours as well. Next slide. Thank you. All right, so now would be the imposter scams, right? So typically there are three types of imposter scams. So typically what imposters are, they're professional fraudsters, right? They dedicate this is their 9 to 5. This is their job to scam people and making sure that they create that trust with the individual so that eventually they take your money, right? To scam you. Unfortunately, right, some of these imposters, and it can get tricky because sometimes these imposters they claim to be government agencies, right, such as the IRS, Social Security, or even maybe even they might try to claim to be the office of the Illinois Attorney General, right? Um, so any government agency that you can think of to always be on the lookout for, right? As well as financial institutions. Sometimes, whether it's a credit card company, your bank, or debt collectors saying that you owe money, right? That you owe them money and to pay immediately. So they they combine the reputable government agency or financial institution with the urgency of you have to pay, right? Or you owe money. Otherwise, there's worse consequences. So that's some of their tactic that they use. Additionally, they also sometimes these imposters they can claim to be a family or a friend. So they claim to be a family member, a friend, a neighbor, saying, right, calling frantically, saying and worried, saying, "Hey, I need money. I am big trouble. Please don't tell any other family member, just you. I can't," right? And what I've been hearing a lot from seniors when I go to different parts of the state is that sometimes apply the grandparent scam, which is what means is that they receive a phone call claiming to be the granddaughter or the grandson, right? Saying like, "Hey, grandma," it's either them sounding frantic, saying, "Hey, I need money. I'm in trouble. Don't tell mom and dad. Please just send me money because I'm in trouble with the police," right? Or sometimes they call more so a little bit more calm, saying like, "Hey, grandma, grandpa, I'm your favorite grandson or I'm your favorite granddaughter," right? And so this is where we should either ask them like, "Oh, what grandson or granddaughter?" Because sometimes when seniors reply, if they do have a favorite grandson or granddaughter, they reply with the name of that family member, right? So now they have more information and now they go along with it, right? If they say, "Oh yeah, Mike, right? Oh yes, grandma is Mike. How you been?" And then they just kind of, lure you in and you believe you are talking to this family member, and that's when they ask for money, and you don't think twice about it, right? Typically with family, sometimes you do tend to, look out for each other and even lend some money. So that is something to look out for as well. So what you can do to stop the scam is to hang up or letting it go to voicemail. um, right? If you want to verify a color story, right? If you want to double check, which you should, I strongly advise, is to hang up and call them from the phone number you have saved from your phone. So if it's a family member, a friend, or neighbor, call them from the phone number you have saved, or for an agency, try to look for the customer service or their office phone number on their websites. And like I like to say, with credit cards or debit cards, usually on the back side there's a customer service phone number. So call that phone number instead of following along with this phone number or this person that called you. Mhm. And excuse me. And then excuse me, sorry. And then to buy never buy gift cards from someone or wire money. So definitely, right, a lot of times they say, "Oh, you can just pay us or pay us back with gift cards. I accept gift cards." Don't, all right, that's also most of the time untraceable or very difficult to retrieve that money. And then lastly, report those incidents to the local law enforcement and the Attorney General's office, our office, to making sure, right, that we are filing a complaint form, um, whether it's to help you out or you filing the complaint form on our website. Next slide, please. Additionally, there has been, revolutionary technology, which is most recent the artificial intelligence. So right now we are letting folks to know that now there has been some good things coming out of AI, but now they're also using AI for really malicious intent. So some of it is that they are taking videos from social media, from conversations on the phone as well, and recorded conversation, and then submitting them and um, putting them through a software which can now produce a fake or convincing voice message, right? Especially, right, claiming to be your friend or your relative or someone that you may know. And as well, again, making it sound like an emergency and, you know, um, having you send them money as well. So that's something to look out for as well. Next slide, please. So what we are advising is to not panic, right? To give yourself a few seconds to kind of, okay, think it through, right? To hang up, to not engage. Um, we again, right? If it's the person that's calling you, to call them back from the contact number you have saved. Try to call other family members or other folks. Hey, have you talked to them recently? You know, verifying that story. As well as reaching out to the local law enforcement and even considering getting a family code to use in case of a real emergency, right? Having a family code to now even AI won't know about that family code. So that can be a way to make sure that you all stay safe. Next slide, please. Now we have another imposter scam, which is the sweetheart scams that we um, name or romance scams, as others may know as of it as. So some of the things to watch out for is that these often take place online, or through the phone, right? So whether it's through a dating website, a social media website, um, they have fake profiles. Um, a lot of times the picture does not match the person behind the screen. They are claiming to be someone that they're not. So that is how they are getting away with it. You then, right? But this scam is a little bit. It takes a little bit longer for folks to, you know, to fall for, because typically they want to groom you, right? Essentially, that's what they're doing. They're trying to have you develop feelings toward this person that you think you're talking to, right? And sometimes they, as you're developing feelings, you transition now into your personal phone, which is through text, maybe even sometimes a phone call or through emails, right? And then after that, you know, weeks can go by, even months, and you're convinced that they are the love of your life, right? And of course, nothing against, right, seeking love or companionship, but unfortunately, right, they are grooming you. So now you think and you're convinced that you are in love. So then this is when requests for money start to come in, right? A lot of times, because this is not done in person, they can claim to be in the other side of the country or abroad, saying like, hey, I'm trying to save up, but right now things are tough. So I was wondering if I could borrow, $500 so that I can book my flight and finally see each other in person, right? So that is one way. And of course, right, you are convinced you're in love. This is your person. So, sometimes when we're in love, we say yes a little more easier. So without hesitation, that's when you're like, yes, of course. The day that they're supposed to fly in never comes. They don't appear. They come up with another excuse saying like, oh, it's because work got extremely busy, couldn't make it. I'll try to catch the other flight. Or they start, right? And then they start moving up the amount of money that they're requesting from you because now they're talking about wedding plans, right? And your honeymoon or investing in a house for you all to move in together. Um, so those are some of the things to look out for. That's how things work. That's how this scam works and how they escalate. So making sure, right, to look out for that. Additionally, not only sometimes are they after your money, but also for you to be an accomplice without you knowing, right? So sometimes they might say, hey, I am going to send a package to your home. Please do me a favor, do not open it, and then I'll have a friend pick it up, or can you send it over to this other address, but please don't look inside. I promise nothing bad, right? But of course, there can be some things that are bad inside the packages, right? Whether it's um, um, illicit things, illegal things. So definitely something to look out for. So don't trust too easily. So with that, right, block the profile. Don't open emails. Don't click on links that they might send you. Um, don't send out money. And yeah, try to ignore it, try to hang up. Um, and so yeah, so those are some things to definitely look out for. And if this is something that is sounding very familiar, right? To making sure that you contact our office as well. Next slide, please. Another thing is the telephone and online scams, right? So this is a combination between imposters, but also more so focusing on the telephone online scams. So a lot of times these scams come up as tech support when implanting a warning on your computer that can be malware to take over your files. So as you can see in the little icon, sometimes you're on your computer, your laptop, or maybe even on your phone, and it says, virus detected. Make sure to buy an antivirus or click here to stop the virus from accessing your hard drive, right? And then when you actually click on it, that's when they have that access into your laptop. Quick story, when I was 13, that happened to me. So full disclaimer, right? These scams can happen to anyone at any age, right? It doesn't matter, right? I know typically a lot of folks to think about seniors only when it comes to scams, but honestly, it can happen at any age. Like it happened to me when I was 13, right? I thought that I was being clever and I was getting ahead of it, and that this exact scam happened to me, where I thought that I was preventing the virus from entering my hard drive, but instead I allowed it to access my computer. Luckily, it was just school papers, no bank accounts information, no um, sensitive information and personal. So that was the good part. But unfortunately, that laptop got got they were too in they had already um messed with my hard drive, so it was better to not continue using the laptop. So something, right, to look out for, and to make sure, right, laptops and technology is pretty pricey, so making sure we keep it safe, right? Additionally, there are some fake emails coming from financial institution, from university institutions. When I was at UIC, we would get pretty often a lot of scam emails, right? It looked like it was coming from a professor or from someone from administration at at UIC. But those folks never existed, right? They were not real people. Somehow they were able to get the at uic.edu that only staff and students have access to or are supposed to, right? And some of these emails promise, right, $30 an hour pay to walk dogs, or to dog sit, or you know, some small jobs that pay too well, especially for college students. So something definitely to look out for, right? And I'll give in the next slide a quick um example as to what that oh, thank you. So for email scams, this is what I'm talking about. So whether it's from an institution, from a store, this is an example of an email that my supervisor received. They claim to be Best Buy. They claim to say that they had an invoice that my supervisor owed money for, so about $400, as you can see. And it looked real, right? At first glance, you think this is real. They have the Best Buy logo. But right after taking a closer look to the email, that's when she looked over at the who was it from, this email. So while it does say on the left side from accounting, she clicked or hovered over the accounting info, and that's where on the right side, that's where the more information was given, which is the really long nothing to do with Best Buy appears. So that is how she knew as well that this was not a real email from Best Buy. And of course, double checking, right? If she had made or someone in their family had made any purchases, and of course, also nothing came up. And the good thing is that she did not claim or she did not click on the view invoice or give them a call because sometimes when you click on links, that's when they're embedded and takes you right away. And sometimes with just clicking, that's when they are able to get your information or if you or if they're asking you questions like, oh, like what's your email, what's your bank account number, or what's your credit card information, right, to pay for this invoice. Um, it of course is not Best Buy or a store or a financial institution, so something to look out for, right? Also, making sure, right, that the emails don't have any misspellings, right? Especially if it's a consistent of misspelling, um, not proper English or not proper or a professional display of the email. Definitely something to flag as well. And can we go back to the slide real quick? Thank you. And then just real quick, other ones will be the get rich schemes or that you want a prize. Both of these, right? They promise a price, but right sometimes and for free you have it like you don't have to pay anything for the get rich schemes or the price, but you have to pay for the shipping, the handling, the processing. So that's something also to look out for, right? If someone promised you something for free, you shouldn't be paying anything at all. And then lastly, right, sometimes they claim to be from the your utility, and that they demand a payment or to prevent suspension of service. So that is something to look out for. At the bottom, we do have the Do Not Call registry or the do not call.gov where you can register your phone numbers. It does not stop 100% phone numbers, unfortunately, due to, right, the phones that do get blocked or not or get filtered right through this registry, um, they have some sort of system where they can um, go ahead and call you through another phone, right? So I know that a lot of folks, even myself, do get scam calls, but this should minimize the number of phone number, the amount of phone calls you should be getting. Next slide, please. Thank you. And now an example of what a legit email, a real email looks like. So looking out for verified logos, no typos like I mentioned, correct email address, and that the sender address matches as well. So this is another example. Funny enough, my supervisor received this email a few minutes later after receiving the fake email from Best Buy as well. So as you can see, it has the Best Buy picture logo on the left side. It has from Best Buy. It has the little verification logo. It says verify logo. At the bottom is an ad instead of an invoice or something that they owed. And as they click and hover over the Best Buy to look over, and it says Best Buy at emailbestbuy.com. So that is a good way to know that it's a real email. Next slide, please. All right. And then for this, we have the cherry scams as well. So that is something to look out for. I'm copying and pasting our charitable search for the charities. Just because now it's charitable that sorry, it's charitable.illinoisattorneygeneral.gov instead of the charitablebureau.ilag.gov. Um, but you can find it on our website as well. So the charity scams, typically they come to you um, in person, right? Sometimes you are walking and they just come up to you saying like, "Hey, we're a charity, so and so. would you like to donate to our cause today, right? And sometimes they use a name that is very reputable. So some well-known organization, they also ask, right? They pressure you into donating only using cash, right? And that they cannot answer any basic questions about the charity, right? Um, and they just keep pressuring you. They want to make sure that you give them money, whether that's in person or at your door or on the phone. But something that you can double check if the charity does exist and um, they're real is that you can call us at this phone number on the screen to or double checking our online database, which appears on our website, like I mentioned, charitable.illinoisattorneygeneral.gov. Um, and as well as just a quick tip is that every charity here in Illinois has to register with our office. So if they are real and legit, it will appear on our database. So that way you can make sure, right, if you do want to donate money, um, that to check out that list first. And then, of course, right, if they are more than willing to talk to you more about the charity, answer questions, and even having that more information given to you through the mail or online as well. Next slide. Mhm. And then for healthcare scams as well, sometimes what you have to look out for and watch out for is that these scammers promise a cure-all remedies, something scientific of a breakthrough, or free medical products or devices. So these endless promises, and also saying like, don't worry, your insurance will cover it, and also these products are FDA approved. Don't worry about it, right? But what we do advise is to double check with your doctor and your insurance. Your doctor to make sure, right, that they can let you know if this is something that will be the best for your health, right? What's their professional opinion? And as well as your insurance to make sure that they do cover it, right? Because sometimes they require an upfront payment with the promise, right, that it's covered by insurance or that to upfront payment required, but then later down the line you don't get reimbursed and or is was never going to be covered by your insurance. Now you're left over with a bill to pay for, which can be thousands of dollars, right? And now it's your responsibility to pay that. So making sure to first check in with your doctor and your insurance, and also giving us a call at the our health bureau hotline that appears on the screen as well. Mhm. Next slide. So now I'll go over how to receive help or and what this looks like from our office. Next slide. So these are our three steps to filing and resolving a complaint. The first one will be to contact our office. You can contact us through the phone. You can file the complaint form online, or you can come in person to our office here in Chicago if it's the closest one to you. And then next slide, please. And then secondly, so now that you file the complaint form with us, now that complaint goes within our office. From there, we gather that information. We can see if it's going to be a case that is within our statute of our office, or if we will be referring you out to, to another agency. We will let you know, of course, um, in what direction will it go. And lastly, if it does stay within our office, then we will assign an advocate or a mediator for your case. Mhm. And then next slide. And then lastly, to resolve, right? So with that, we are going to contact the business or organization that you input in your complaint form. We will investigate and work the case. And by we, I mean our advocates and lawyers, as I am just a community liaison, but they will investigate and work the case. They will initiate the mediation, like I mentioned, and then report those results back to you. We do cover the whole state of Illinois, so we do have more folks calling in than staff, right? So it does take a couple of weeks for this investigation to keep going. So just, having a little bit of grace for our staff as they are looking and resolving into your case. Next slide. And then these are the key contacts. You can take a screenshot. I would like to highlight that we do have a senior helpline, which is 800-243-5377. And of course, all of these helplines will be on our website. They are available for you all to, reference to. And this senior helpline, it's open, dedicating to our senior citizens of Illinois to give us a call, whether it is for a question, to file a complaint form, how to do that, or if you've been seeing some scams in your community, to let us know as well. And then if you ever like for our office to come in and give a presentation for a organization that you're a part of, or would like for us to table as well, you can reach out to us at outreach@ilag.gov, so that we can work around that as well. But yeah, these are all of our phone numbers and helplines. And with that, this will be the end of the presentation now. And if anyone has any questions and answers, please let me know. Thank you.
Thank you, Andrea. I have so many questions, but let's open it first to our callers. I see one has unmuted already. Go ahead.
Could you repeat what you were saying about the AI? Because I wasn't clear on what that scam was all about. You were
Mhm.
talking about taking photos or them tapping into your phone conversations. Is that what you were saying?
Yeah, thank you for your question. What I was mentioning with AI is that now AI has this software that a lot of these scammers are using. So they take videos from social media, whether it's of yourself or family members, and then taking that audio into a software to create it and to make it seem that you're having a conversation with your family member, with your friend, whoever they're trying to impersonate, from someone that you may know. So that is something to be just on the lookout for, right? When we do share videos or audios in our social media. Mhm.
Thank you. Could you
Of
give me
course.
the phone number again to the helpline?
Yes, give me 1 second. It would be 800-386-5438. And that is our general helpline. Mhm.
Okay.
For
And
for consumer.
I also needed a phone number to the office, Attorney General's office here in Illinois. And where are you located?
Yeah, so that would be one of the phone numbers that is like our main phone number. So you can give us a call there. And then we are located here in downtown Chicago. That's one of our offices, at 115 South LaSalle Street.
I
What
think
was the
it's worth
phone number?
repeating. Let me repeat the senior helpline. Will that help?
Yes,
Is
please.
1-800
Uh-huh.
243
243
243 5377.
5377. Thank you.
Mhm.
Thank you for the question. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, if no one else from the callers, I think we can move into the questions from the chat. Um, But I wanted to start by saying, it seems to me that as any organization, and you said this is a business, some of them work 9 to 5, like it's any other business, that's their job. So it seems that scammers and fraudsters, since they are quote unquote organizations, or maybe not even in quotations, they are organizations, as with any business, they evolve and they adapt. And in my opinion, they've become quite sophisticated. So not only the technology, but also the way that they interact with people.
Mhm.
And they sound as if they care or they can empathize with you, and may say statements such as, I understand your hesitation, considering that there's a lot of scams and fraud happening. So you will feel that, oh, well, this cannot be scammer because they're even talking about scams themselves. So
Mhm.
I wanted to get a sense if that's one of the things that you're discussing in the office, the way in which they're relating to people that may make us more vulnerable in a sense.
Mhm. No, yeah. Definitely that has been a very consistent observation that I've been given by many community members out there in our state. Um, that's why as of now, that's why we advise for them to hang up and call the phone numbers that are legitimate provided, right, by the store, by the institutions, by the business, or your bank. That's why I did like to point out, right, like even with your credit cards, debit cards, if they're calling, right, calling you, hang
Yes,
up and
yes.
call the customer service. If you're able to go in person to your bank in this, like in this example, please do so. Um, but yes, I've been hearing quite a few stories, right, where they're very patient, where they're empathetic, like you mentioned, saying like, don't worry, we're gonna go through this together. I'm gonna help you move your money to a more secure bank account and whatnot, right? Just staying on the phone as long as they can with you. Um, so yeah, so that's something they do play a lot with the emotions of folks. So definitely, right, trying to stay as, you know, as calm as you can and to, double check, right? Because also a lot of most of the time they try to use that, everything's timed. You only have so long for you to react and do something about it, whether it's someone is in trouble or your bank account is
Mhm.
in trouble, that you have to act immediately. So definitely, right, trying to stay as calm. I know it's easier said than done, but
Yeah,
trying to
but
stay calm and im trying to investigate, right, if that is real or not. Hmm. Thank you.
I guess that the strongest warning signs, in my opinion, there are two. One is the feeling pressured, you know, like you said, offering a good offer until the end of the week or until that day. That's the only offer. So that pressure, if you're feeling pressured. And the second one is anything that is unsolicited. You know, somebody may knock on your door and then you are not soliciting any recommendations for whatever is happening in your home. You're having somebody come in for that unsolicited help, um, which I imagine will make the what is it called, the sweetheart scams more difficult, because you may think, well, this was not unsolicited. I started probably developing this relationship, and all of a sudden you're in a different, completely different arena of what you
Mhm.
were hoping for. But yeah, I wanted to point out those two warning signs from what you said, the feeling pressure and also the unsolicited help. And the good one is, yes, to also make sure that you are calling the organization yourself. And actually, that happened to me recently. Somebody called my bank and from the fraud and scams department. And I'm like, first of all, it was a 312, and when that has happened in the past, it was a toll-free number. So it was a different number.
Mhm.
And also, it actually wasn't even a phone number. It was a text usually, but it's not from a 312. It was something that was easily tied to my bank. But nevertheless, you know, when I responded, they were saying, no, you can Google this phone number. You will see this is the branch. We are there in Chicago, in Chicago Avenue. And I almost Googled it and I just decided to hang up and call the 1-800. I grabbed my car and indeed they confirmed, we haven't called you. There's no questionable transaction. So in that instance, they just said to block that number. And now I'm wondering, because in your information is you're saying that you should report incidents to the local law enforcement and the Attorney General's office. Is that something you have to do right away, or is that something you have, I don't know, up to 30 days, 90 days, or what's the recommendation?
Yeah, of course. Typically we do like to, the sooner the better. It's always a good, you know, rule to have, especially when it is about scams, and especially if unfortunately you were scammed, right? Especially in those instances. So if you can do it immediately, right? Once you realize, like, please reach out to our office, um, reach out to your local law enforcement, and let's say, right, that you didn't fall for the scam or someone you knew didn't fall for a scam, but still interacted with a scam or potential scam, please give us a call, right? We like to always know what's going out in the community, and what better way than um, the residents giving us a call, just so that we are in the know, and that way we can act accordingly as to what trends are going out there. Hmm.
That is a great point. Yes, it's also to let you know, to let the office know how frequently
Hmm.
this is happening and what type of scam and how the tactics, how is it that it continues to evolve. I think that's an important information for you. Well,
Hmm.
and individuals in the YouTube channel are just very grateful that you offer this information, that you're here. People agreeing that there's so many scams these days. So thank you for the work that you do, for all this information. And please, to our audience, make sure that you review this lecture once again. You know that it always remains recorded in our YouTube channel. You have those slides that Andrea presented with not only all the information, it's always good to review, but the phone numbers to call so that you're protecting yourself and your loved ones. The links that Andrea also sent to us, Hannah has posted those in the YouTube channel as well. So that way you have that at your fingertips. So thank you so much. We have reached the end of this conversation. We are very grateful for the work that you're doing and your colleagues, Andrea, and for you to be here.
Thank you so much for the invitation, and have a good rest of your day.
Thank you. It's our pleasure. Okay, well, let me tell you then now about the programs that we have coming up for you. Let's start with the Take Charge of Your Diabetes. The Take Charge of Your Diabetes is a 6-week workshop that we offer for free, and it is for individuals with type 2 diabetes or pre-diabetes. And through this workshop, listen, you'll gain skills and support to manage blood sugar, to manage your nutrition, exercise, emotional well-being, while building confidence in living a fulfilling life. And we'll be offering the next one, as you see, via Zoom. So it's virtually on Thursdays, starting on October 23rd through December 11, and it's from 9:30 a.m. to noon. Just give us a call, 1-800-757-0202 to register. We would love to see you there. The other program we wanted to highlight today is a fabulous volunteering program in which you can work with Rush University students. This is the Community Health Mentor Program, and it's seeking mentors for the 2026 year. So this unique program connects adults who are living with a chronic or more chronic health condition to work with interprofessional student teams here at Rush University, students that come from 17 different health disciplines. The program runs once a month. There's 3 meetings, one in January, one in February, and then in March. And it offers these mentors. You can become a mentor, and you can get a telehealth training. And then we also offer a gift card stipend as a thank you for your time. So join us to help shape the next generation of person-centered healthcare providers. And you do that while also you work toward your own wellness goals. So you can scan the QR code on the screen or give us a call at 1-800-757-0202, and one of our agents will be more than happy to tell you more about this program. Then, as always, the Shaman Senior Voices want to hear from you or want to learn from you. Shaman Senior Voices seeks to empower older adults to discuss what matters most to them as they age. We believe that it is important to share what matters most to you with your physician and loved ones. And so please consider sharing your wisdom and on why it is important for your health care and loved ones to know your goals and wishes and what matters most to you. You can also go to that, you scan that QR code and record even a video about today's topic, why it was important for you to come to today's lecture and for us to bring this information to you as you try to remain safe in the community. Okay, and then our next lecture is going to be on breast and lung cancer, which is in 2 weeks, Wednesday, October 15th, starting at 1 p.m. So we hope that you will join us then also. Thank you so much. As always, feel free to give us a call, 1-800-757-0202, to not only learn more about the health promotion and disease prevention programs that we offer through Rush Generations, but also about the opportunities for volunteering and to, contribute to the well-being of others through volunteerism. And if you also feel that you need to speak with one of our social workers in the social work and community health department, you can do that through that number as well. Other than that, we hope to see you then on October 15th.